and do the business that we've got to do, Lord. We ask that you watch over those out among us that are hurting and that are in sorrow because of the loss of loved ones, Lord. We ask that you bless every one of us and give us all a good Christmas because we know that just you are the reason for the season. And all this in Christ's name we ask. Amen.
Yeah. Michael, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Yes, sir. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
I'm gonna welcome y'all to the December the 9th, 2025 advisory board meeting. Melissa's not gonna be here. I've got a package for each one of us that's got some stuff on it. As we go through it, we can kind of mark it off or whatever. So I'm just gonna go down the line. Give me just a minute. Here. Okay, at this time, we're gonna get an update from Mr. Joey Sons, our athletic director, of what's going on, what's coming down the line.
Kind of done most of the update last meeting. I think notes are in there, but we're getting ready for basketball. We've got I think it was 30-something teams this year for basketball. Wrestling's probably gonna get started a little bit towards the end of December, probably a little earlier than normal. That's about it on sports report.
We're kind of at kind of a little bit of a lull in our sports season, gearing up for our basketball, which, like you said, it's going to be in January. At that first meeting, we're going to have what? If you don't mind, explain what we're going to do on that Saturday.
Our opening Saturday.
I think I told Taylor to invite y'all with the
We're gonna play a few games, and then about midday, our opening day, we usually don't have hair and ballers, so we're gonna use that time slot for a little award ceremony, hand out some rings for the ones who won districts last year, and kind of recognize them. That'd be January 3rd.
That'd be the kickoff kind of our basketball. And I asked Ms. Taylor to let every commissioner know in case they want to come or want to drop by. I think you got rings to pass out. What are you gonna do? So he's got a couple banners.
We got our
banners hanging
banners
them in the ceiling. I'm gonna give Craig about that. Normally that's a little bit after. So when they can get that machine down there when we get in the building. So they actually just kind of built something that they can hang the on the banners on. So pass out the rings for the.
Basically the same thing we did last year for the 12U girls.
Thank you there, Joey.
Yeah, I'd like to also see if we could get them up as a commission, not just as a congratulatory or something, I mean, introduce them.
Y'all give me a heads up on when y'all can schedule it, and I'll reach out to the teams.
See what, if you can get it on January's maybe, like first Thursday.
I think this group, we've already done one at the commissioners, hadn't we?
We did one
Yes.
at the commission
Yes.
one night.
Yeah.
That was these two teams.
Separate. Most of the time we just, since Joey has been doing athletics, most of the time he starts at the season, whether it be football, basketball, and go from there. But yeah. So, I'm gonna mark through that. We'll have approximately 5 weeks of basketball.
Yeah, four, and then a piece of a week. That piece of a week will probably be our 6U tournament. What we do.
He's shooting between 8 and 10 games still.
Yep.
If that's what we're
8 to 10.
So, it seems like they moving things up, moving things back. It just seems like you don't have time to squeeze everything in. you know, before you have them start practicing for district and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Typically, we get the first 2 weeks of February to play also. This year, they've got All-Stars just pushed so far up on us that we'll have to end that first week of February. Probably get our All-Stars practicing a little before that.
okay, let's see. I've got a couple of the minutes on the back. We didn't really have, we just kind of discussed last week. We had certain people, I met last month, we had several people out, so we just kind of beat some ideas up, talked about Facebook and the webpage and things like that, see what we can do to spruce that up. So,
Yeah, and y'all did the, what was it, Make Brantley Better interviews? You know, I know you
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
You were-
yeah.
I think they,
I hadn't seen it, I was kind of scared.
No, they were supposed to be editing everything and put it together, and I think just after January 1st is when they're gonna post it out.
Post it out. Good deal.
Really, that's gonna be pretty neat.
Yeah, I think that was a plus for our webpage.
Yeah.
I do, so. At this time, we'll go into public participation. If you
I'm
got any,
sorry, I'm new.
oh, that's fine. If you have anything, you know, you'd like to discuss or talk about or know, before we get on in a little bit further, just state your name and.
So I'm Kaylin Gillian. Again, this is my first meeting, so I'm not really sure how these work. One thing off the top of my head that I know just as a parent and experience is my son has been doing basketball for quite a few years. I know in the beginning they were receiving medals. I don't know what happened with that. So just from my perspective, like I said, as a parent, the prices have increased, which everyone knows everything increases, but it seems like there was an increase and then kind of something was taken away. So again, I don't know what the reasoning was behind that, but that may be something just to kind of think about for the kids.
You were here when they did that.
Yes. The board, we and the board discussed it. And we took, everybody kind of fussed about participation trophies.
Yeah.
So we kind of done away with that since they have, most of the age groups have a chance to go to All-Stars and win something. 6U, we do our own little in-house tournament and do rings for the winner. But somewhere along the lines, as a group, we decided to change it from participation to winning.
Did that make sense?
Oh, yes, sir, it does. I was just saying, like I said, just from experience, that's the only thing that I've noticed because this is my first meeting. I don't really know what else to discuss.
Used to, they gave trophies
I
for
think-
years, and
yes.
then they went to the medals.
The medal.
And now it's the rings.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize there
It's
were
my
still
understanding.
rings or anything like that.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
typically,
It's the winning team.
The winning.
typically what I do is I keep some medallions here for any parents that want to come get one. So we do have some available. It's just anybody who comes and asks, we
What
give
is-
them.
Do you know about what the price is, to do the medallions?
The medallions are like, they're like 50 for $12 or something like that. I mean, it's not much at all.
Oh.
According to, you know, what kind you order, you can get different levels.
Might be something to think about to go back into, especially since the prices has went up for participation.
Yep.
I mean, that's an increase. And I know that the other night we talked about, uniforms being, the price of them, so that with the medallion still would not be as much as what the entry fee is,
Yep.
which is $60.
Yep.
You know, if you have,
That's true.
and I didn't say what my name was, I was just talking
Oh, sorry.
with her, Brenda John, everybody knows me, I think, but,
Yes, again, I wasn't really sure what else to discuss, but just as an outsider looking in over the years, that's just one thing that I've personally noticed.
And Joey kind of swaps, excuse me, he kind of swaps that up, whether it be a fishing tournament where you had a belt, jitterbug, they have rings. I mean, you know, at different sports, we do have some different medals, that we have, you know, passed out at times, so.
Please don't take this the wrong way or nothing, okay? I'm all about kids playing.
Yeah,
I coached a long time and I wrecked, and I don't even ask for payment when I coach, when I umpire balls or whatever. I care about the kids, but I am glad that they cut participation trophies out as a coach, because in real life, kids, people ain't gonna give you nothing that you don't earn. Now, it makes them strive harder to go out there and win. It makes them play harder. But if they get in a trophy, just getting a trophy handed to them, it's like a dog. If you're just gonna give him a treat every day, he's gonna be okay. He's not gonna mind you, be obedient, and help you train. So I'm not referring to a kid as a dog or nothing like that. But all I'm doing is saying participation trophies were good at a time, but I'm glad we got away from them, because it teaches them, the athletes out here, okay, let's give it all you got for that coach that's volunteering 100% of his time. Let's give it all I got, because they might not do that, and they still get it the same amount of a award as a kid that has been given their time. That's just my take on that. I'm glad that he still offers. Somebody wants one, because they all about the kids. These two guys here are all about the kids and seeing about that. So that's good. We can get that took care of and get you a trophy or whatever. But as far as handing them out, that's a really good thing, because you got to take a stand somewhere, because if you don't, the kids gonna grow up thinking, well, I'm gonna get rewarded if I don't do a good job. If I don't, teach them to do a good job to get that reward. It means more to them at the end of the day.
yes, and that's understandable, but I'm just saying, if the fees are going up, and especially for the younger kids, and I understand, you know what I mean, like the 14-year-olds, of course, they're not really gonna care about that. I was just saying, as an outsider, seeing the fees increase, but then things that you used to offer go away. And if other things are being awarded, I wasn't aware of that. I know that my son personally has made it to All-Stars, but at that point, like if they won all the way up and then made it to All-Stars, but like if they won, you know what I mean, like the season compared to everyone, like he didn't get anything then. So just because I didn't see it, you know, like other kids may have, but that's, like I said, what I was trying to refer to is things have gotten pushed away, but it's increased. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
And maybe if y'all do update the Facebook, I guess you would kind of know maybe that other things are being given out. Again, I was just trying to offer what I've seen.
That's why I leave that decision to all them.
So all them, yeah.
Brantley's about
Maybe think
50-50
about,
on it.
instead of the medal or something like that, give them a ball cap or a
Yes.
t-shirt, something just for participating. I mean,
Or even the water bottles, like
Yeah,
I know those Gatorade water bottles, they
Yeah,
don't cost much, but like my son is still carrying his around from All-Stars, just for whatever reason.
All-Stars last year?
Sir?
Last year All-Stars?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, he's still carrying it around. So like I said, even minimal things like that, I feel like would go a long way if y'all didn't want to do the awards. You know, a small water
Some kind
bottle or
of
cup, something.
some kind of little token.
Yes, just something.
It's not like your trophies.
Do you need another
Wouldn't
one?
like
No.
We got plenty.
He's hard-headed. He won't give it.
What would the cost of the water bottle be? I mean, have.
Well, for All-Stars, the ones we get is donated to us by Pepsi that we hand out there. I don't know what it would cost for us to buy them. I know it, Academy and Dunham's, those same bottles are pretty expensive.
How many kids we got? How much do you
got
need your donation?
What was it this year, 244 or
Last one I seen was like 256,
something like that, 250.
30 something with resident. But now your neighbor donates those water bottles.
My neighbor does? Okay. Cause I know somebody that donates a lot to the school, sports wise.
Mhm.
So, that's always good.
Is
So we're talking maybe 275 kids, just roughly.
he is our Pepsi representative.
Yeah. And also, not buying medallions and stuff helps offset some of the price of the rings for the championship teams. Because even when they win state like the year prior, the state only gives them a medallion. So we buy rings and give to them.
On the, at the last meeting, you talked about there might be a change in how they do All-Stars now as far as hosting and things like that. Have you found out any information on that?
Just yet, but there's been a few things mentioned that like they're trying to go ahead and push it.
Do you think it might happen during basketball season, or it might be later?
It may happen during basketball season. They've talked a little bit about it. We've kind of sat down and talked. We have enough gyms to do it. We don't have the staff to do it. If they let it bust up like normal, we will be putting in for some of it. But it's just according to what they do.
But if they don't, are you gonna try to do like you do in the jitterbug?
Have our own. For the 6U, I will.
Yeah.
Okay. I would love to do our own thing with every sport, but
Yeah, I know.
having the staff and the places to do it.
Mr. Jeffrey, did y'all put up a board?
Yes, ma'am,
Because when I came the other day, it wasn't up.
yes,
So
ma'am, we
I was
have,
just wondering.
we have.
Okay, thank you. And would they still need to call the office and write on the board? Thank you very much.
Hopefully when they call the office, they'll talk with Sarah. She'll, go through her records and what. And
Okay,
if there's
and then
anything.
put it on the board outside. Thank you.
Any old business? We just go right on into new business, and we're going, I got a couple of lists that we're just gonna kind of go over real quickly. Just kind of give and bring everybody else up to speed of what's been going on, what's happening, and what's gonna happen. So, the first one, A, is pickleball courts update. I got the brackets for the lights. What we're gonna do, he put the 2 poles inside the area in between the courts. And Mr. Joey was a little bit uneasy as far as safety wise, so he did not like that idea. So we're gonna get them to move them outside. They should be here next week. They gotta move 2 lights. It'll be in one center. If you look at them, it'll be in the center. We're gonna move them outside the fence. Hopefully, he told me if he gets good weather for 2 days, it'll be completed next week. And hopefully, after that, Joey's gonna try to start getting some stuff together. I think one thing, to start with, I think he's gonna try to do employees, tournament with inside the county, and then we'll reach out and start letting everybody play and try to get some tournaments and what have you.
You're gonna still try to kick it off with some kind of a tournament or?
Yep, that'll be that employee.
Yeah,
County employee tournament.
Okay.
Kind of how we're gonna kick it off.
So like I said, next week, if we get some warm weather, so he gonna have to do some repainting, resurfacing a little bit. So hopefully by next week, everything be rocking and rolling for pickleball.
Can that be used for anything or just pickleball? I'm talking about like volleyball. That you be able to set up a temporary net, just in case if pickleball don't go, is it set up big enough to
We
play
would have to
volleyball?
look at that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what the dimensions. I think it's gonna be a little bit small. Like we did in Slaughterville, we had tennis courts and we put the pickleball lines on there. Then we had the basketball courts on the opposite side. But I think these here is just going strictly to the pickleball courts right now.
I've had a lot of people come to me and ask me about volleyball,
Well-
got gyms, could the rec maybe do something on that line, like maybe because people was having to drive to Ware County to play ball.
And we have talked about that, and I'm gonna kind of put Mr. Having him on the spot, because we pushing for a gym. Gym would just open up all kind of stuff. Whether it be a walking track inside, volleyball, inside volleyball, basketball. It just opened up a lot of things. So we're really just trying to push the gym as hard as we can go with that. And hopefully they're still looking at different ideas. So, yes, that is definitely, it. And I'll just use Pierce County because they actually have 2 or 3 teams. They start early. That's why I'm hoping, and I talked with Christopher before he got a job transfer about starting pickleball, volleyball at the middle school level. So I know they got their poles. I talked with Rusty Brown. I know they've got poles. They've got holes drilled. So hopefully, it'll be there.
I know we on camera and I really don't care, but this is typical what we do. We wait to the last minute to do anything, and Pierce County's got 5 teams and Waycross has got 6 or 7.
I agree.
Our kids are having to drive there and participate, and then what?
We just have so much activities with our gyms. Just like now, we're borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, and a lot of times, if we're not careful, we're colliding with, like last year, we went to have practice in the middle, in the Nahana gym. Well, we walked in, there's projects sitting on. They didn't tell us, so now we're scrambling to find gyms for our, the ones that had practice.
You know volleyball inside and out, so you could. That'd be a great thing to start.
Oh, I agree.
We could.
With an outdoor volleyball?
Well, you can. They do some practicing. So I was asked this, and I told him I didn't know. It's a pickleball court was built big enough to have a volleyball practices on, or whatever. Maybe have like a few outdoor games, but he just said it's not. I don't remember the regulation court size, but
Yeah, I was just picturing it. I don't think it'd be deep enough each way. I mean, you could do it like the beach volleyball, an easy, cheap place to set up.
And I'm hoping once that they get the new gym built, we can kind of
opens up
share
one of
with
them
them.
gyms. That's just something I want. I had a pile of people call me about that already, and I've
searched and
I ain't been able to give them no good answers.
Mhm.
We tried to go through FEMA and everywhere else to try to get money even for like a shelter, like hurricane shelters and the like. But we're not, we're classified as coastal. And you can't build a storm shelter in a coastal region. So FEMA's money went out the window. And we just keep searching. Somewhere knows something will fall in our lap, but maybe.
We got the fishing stuff, and that draws a lot. And the pickleball, I mean, I go on vacation to St. Augustine, and there's people that come just to rent resorts, just to play pickleball, just to be in a pickleball tournament.
Look how big it is in Brunswick.
Right. So I know it's a good thing. And everybody's asking about volleyball. That's it. As long as you keep everybody flowing, and you can't please everybody, but you keep offer it.
Oh yeah.
To a certain level, and then you can go. And then when you get the 12U live softball, you ain't getting skunked because the county's been live pitching for 2 years. You know what I mean? You're already ahead of that game. We already presenting ourselves well to get trophies or whatever. So we're in basketball season pretty quick. Like he said, you're gonna have to end it, and then you jump right into All-Stars. You got 5 teams playing against each other. It's hard to come together in a week and go be a functional unit to win something.
And it seems like in the last several meetings that we've been to, I mean, they just keep pressing, don't they? I mean, you just keep narrowing down the time frame. So it's almost like you got to start practicing All-Star first season, you know what I mean, or middle season anyway.
Y'all gonna regret for me to be on this meeting this morning. I like to
You're good. You're good. Update on the application for coastal improvement grant on a possible walking track at the sports complex around Georgia Pond. We did complete that pre-application last week. It is in. Now it's kind of left up to the DNR to sift through, look through, and get that. What we would really, and what the coastal is kind of more or less toward not much a walking track, but a scenery. Like a walking trail, like through the woods and things like that. So we are, going ahead with that. Whether we get the grant or not, we don't know. It's going to be, a little farther down the line on that. But we have grants a 1-on-1 match. And it goes up to $80,000. Matter of fact, they have one grant, and when the government shut down, that put NOAA on a stop. It's just a federal agent on a stop that, they'll look at the water and if it affects the water and how it affects the landscape. I mean, it's just a lot around the plant life, I'm gonna say. We do have that. They did get through phase 1, going into phase 2. It's kind of like a 2-year process. Haven't heard anything lately as far as when they started back up. As far as I know, they're still in the process of trying to get in the second year. So it's kind of like a 2-year process, really. The first year they get permit and things like that. And the second year, then you can actually start seeing a little bit of the grant money come into play. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go ahead and start some of the project that you're looking at doing. And when I was talking with the grant writer, he stated that, if we done that, it would kind of show us that we are serious about this grant. So that's kind of what we're gonna be doing. So, okay, on your pamphlet here, or your package here, there's a 2026 budget. If y'all want to look at that, that'll kind of give you an idea of kind of what we're looking at, what we're doing, how much money goes into each line item. I'll give you just a minute to look over that. You kind of just break it down a little bit, how things are coded once we send or turn a PO in. And this is, Joey mentioned this earlier a while ago. Discuss issues with part-time staff and keeping the help that we need. And just from what time I've been here, we had issues during football, we have issues during baseball. It's kind of whatever according to the sports that goes on is according what kind of help we have. Like during football season, we got guys that play football. Same way with basketball. We got several people that we've hired. I think I've got 26 students that any time, you might have 3 or 4, you might have 2, you might have 7. When basketball season comes, we're going to try to go 2 gyms again, that being Nahana and Hoboken. So I'm going to have staff in Nahana, and I'm going to have staff in Hoboken. So that's where we run into several issues with students. So I'm sure some don't. You got probably 5 or 6 that you could probably bank on. The rest is kind of hit or miss, according, like I said, what kind of season's going on throughout the year. So that's kind of where we're at, the work-based program through school.
So you about need an adult at the gyms just to make sure that things get them taken care of, or is that what you?
Well, what we got, excuse me, just say practices now, we have what they call gym monitors. So I have a student at every gym that carries the key, the basketballs, and the tool that raises and lowers the goal. So they go and sit there the whole time. Most of the time they sweep the floor, make sure everything's, people's not on the stage, not running around so they can get hurt. Just kind of, just watching over the gym that they're at. And we do that in all the schools. Now, most of the time during games, Joey will be at one place and I will be at the other place. Most of the time I'm in Hoboken and he's in Nahana. So we do travel some, like baseball, football, stuff like basketball. So, and I'll just say Pierce County. If we go to Pierce County, somebody's going to be going to Pierce County. Most time it's me. Most time Joey stays and guards the nest, should we say. So, yeah, we try to keep, it's just so many issues coming up with parents. Parents and kids, kids and kids.
That's what I was about to say. Is you got, over the years I did it. When I umpire on the ball field, when I'm at the gym or whatever, I don't hardly get no lift out of no ball. Just because I'm big, ugly, and scary. Yeah, they don't bother me. All right. don't wanna buffalo and bully that kid.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I still know right, that kid need to do it. They're going and sitting in the gym, keeping that, doing this right here. I don't know what your question was a while ago. What was your thing about the part-time discussion, part-time help, or what was it you was asking? If they doing their job, I don't see where that's a big issue as long as they're doing their job.
No, no, no.
But you and Joey need to be where if they call you,
Oh, yeah.
you get there.
Mhm.
And
Well, most of the time on the gym monitoring, that's all they do, like before the season. Now, when the season takes over, we'll still be using gym monitor, which we use students. It's just the games that me and Joey was, separate. He'll go one way and I'll go the other way. But yeah, we're just trying to cut down on any kind of riffraff, any kind of, we had one in football, you know, a parent, a grandparent, and a referee had a little issue there. That's what we want to cut down on. And it's just not us, because everybody I talk to has the same issues. It's just we're trying to get them before they get too involved. Whether we have to ask them to leave or talk to them about, warn them, give them a warning or two, and then kick them out or whatever we got. We just want to try to cut down on this parent, child, confrontations that we just seems to be happening in every sport now. It just seems like it can get out of hand pretty quick. Now, at times we have asked the law to come by, whether they walk through, ride through, watch, sit, so we are in contact with Mr. John Simpson and Mr. Lynn, about using, whether they offer your own duty, to give us a little support there. And they have, but it can happen right now. And right now they may not be here, so that's what we want to try to eliminate. So, but no, we just, for getting help for our students, like I said, some's playing baseball, so we can't use them. They're kind of off the chart. We may just have 3 or 4 that we can depend on. And then, we try to do the best we can, until they can come around and join us again. So that's kind of all it is about the students. Okay, F, Joey, you wanna discuss that? Let's discuss the cost of uniforms now, and what is the best system providing for the athletes?
It said about pants in there, so I just pulled up the receipt from baseball season. Last year we spent their price was, the tops were $22 a kid, the pants were $10 a kid. I noticed that it says discuss whether we should provide baseball pants.
Well, and I'll just jump out there. Me and Joey has talked about that. We've had several issues with people that not like the pants.
Yeah.
So
You're referring to baseball and softball, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't get myself into that situation. I've coached travel for years. You let the parents, now you get a uniform company to come try them on, and that's fine. But if you order a set of pants, and these girls, man, they're picky with it.
No.
They think them pants are keeping them from performing right, and that. So you do what you want there, but
No.
well, I'm glad you said that, because me and Joey's discussed that, and we're not doing pants.
The only
Well,
reason we
boys
had
is
tried it
different.
last year was because we got to discussing it, and we decided that in basketball we buy shorts, football we buy pants, soccer we buy shorts. Every sport we buy tops and bottoms except for baseball. and
well, what's
softball.
the difference? Is the sign up fee money the same?
Yeah.
As that? Then if you just buying a shirt for the baseball and softball, what happens if you
Change it?
lower that down a little bit where the parents can go and they ain't saying, well, I'm just throwing a number out here now. I don't know what it is now. I'm paying $45 for the playing and I'm only getting a shirt. And if I pay $45 in basketball, I'm getting a shirt and shorts. So maybe figure out what the price of your shirt and your shorts combo and drop that thing down where the parents, that takes that out of the equation where they can go get their own pants and just whatever, if you're not gonna buy a complete set in any sport, I might would drop it. And then whatever you can drop it to still make your budget. And I don't, like I say, I don't know what that is, but I would be careful on saying you buy pants.
You'd have to come up with something consistent though, because, I mean, this pair might go buy a pair of whatever's from over here that's one color and go buy another pair.
That's
over
kind of
here.
the fear too. That's why we started buying shorts for basketball was we got tired of kids showing up with jogging pants on, or, you know,
Right.
you always had one or two that showed up in blue jeans or,
Mhm.
so we
And
had
it
to keep
seems
them
like we're just
consistent.
having issues now with baseball and softball, not so much anything else.
And they get to keep those pants whenever the season's done.
Yeah. Yeah, most of them got holes in them by the end of the season.
That's true.
Is there a significant difference between like the baseball and football and basketball shorts? I mean, when you go to a retail store, there is clearly a big difference. Because
I think
I think
baseball,
most parents would understand, like, if you only supplied, you know, for certain shorts, if it was the thin shorts versus the expensive baseball
Right.
pants and football pants, I think they might understand that.
football's probably the most expensive all the way around uniform wise.
That's like when we had the meeting the other night, and we were talking about the shorts, not last meeting, but the meeting before. When the older girls get to basketball, they want their own shorts. And I brought that up
Yeah.
at the last meeting.
Sometimes they're
Somebody
long, they don't
texted
like
me
that.
about it.
Sometimes they're
Yeah,
short.
and they want their own. But the only thing about that is if the referees really go by the rule, if you're not dressed alike, that's a technical foul.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Are you gonna make the kid wear what you furnish and possibly have a tech call on your team because you're not dressed alike? Because that is the rule.
That's why a couple of
Yeah.
years we tried the sublimated stuff was because we were showing up in screen print or iron on jerseys, and other counties are showing up in full sublimated jerseys, shorts, warm up shirts.
I
I would
think
hate
Jerry
for us
did
to
just
show
those
up at a
t-shirts.
ball game
So, I
and
mean,
a
it
tech
it
get
just
called
saved
on us
variation.
and then us lose the ball game because of a tech.
Yep.
That would be bad.
Yep.
So,
We lost the tournament one day because of softball, because we had two girls that had on gray pants and the other ones had on white pants. They
that's
filed
that's what I'm
appeal
saying.
and
But if they
Yep.
start at the beginning of the season and say, okay, this is your uniform and this is what we're expecting you to wear, then you get them ready for All-Stars. I see it both ways.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Yep.
Because what my one kid like, another kid don't, or they don't fit right. They're too long, or they're too long waisted, or they want them shorter, you know, some want them longer. But if you get that mindset that this is your uniform, because when you get to All-Stars, you're not gonna have a choice. Or you're gonna get a tech and just like, you may lose ball games.
being said, that if we play in local, you ain't got no rules on different color pants and that kind of stuff. Local Charlton, they won't say nothing.
Right.
They don't say nothing. So why won't you just make sure your all-star team has got pants and softball and baseball instead of buying 180 pairs of pants? Why not make sure your all-stars are outfitted to the T, because they're supposed to be the best of the best in the county, is what all-stars are supposed to be. So you want them to go be 100%. And there, once again, I think as far as us people in Brantley County, we put a lot on our kids, but we don't want to put a lot back into them. We don't want to back them. We want to let them, okay, it's fine, you just do that. No, push them a little harder, but make them dress right.
I could see that logo, but you'd still have to come up with something about what this is not gonna be allowed. I mean, don't come in here with you cut off blue jeans on or
The bottom, have you
whatever else or
considered, I know you couldn't really consider it for like basketball because typically their jerseys match their shorts, but for baseball or softball, maybe offer, if you provide your own white, like specifically say white pants, we will take off such amount of dollars off of your fees. If not, then it's this amount. I I mean, that could
Right.
possibly be an option as well.
Could be a headache for some
Me.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you're wanting to only try to do it just for that, it won't be like you're singling them out, you're giving them the option. Um,
I don't know what to answer on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
That's why I was
I
gonna
can
say,
see
that's
both
another one,
ways. I can see it both ways.
Yeah.
another one of them beautiful decisions. I get to just say, hey, y'all,
well,
y'all want me to do?
and that's
I
like,
can, I can see it both ways. I can see them. I mean, I would love to see them all matching and stuff, but then again, you've got a valid point, and then you've got a valid point, and then, you know, they come up with rules of whether you can't come in here with a pair of cut-off jeans and play.
and I think that's what you're gonna have to do. You know, your shirts and all match. Well, okay, your shorts, everybody's gonna wear white shorts or blue shorts or
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Something like that.
So,
There used to be I don't know if it's still in here, but there used to be a rule. If you played softball or baseball, you had to have on pants because of the sliding, the injury factors. You had to have on baseball pants or softball pants, whatever you want to call it.
But then you end up with, what we ended up with over the years was, instead of going and buying a new set of pants, this one just wore their travel ball pants. So you have one kid in blue pants, one kid in red pants, just all different colors.
You would have to
Look at-
specify what color.
look
And
at
then
the
they're gonna
NFL
say-
now, they don't even wear pants. Some of them wearing shorts. I mean, so, and you're talking about the NFL. So, I
If
mean,
they ever go to Dublin, Georgia and play one time, they'll be having pants on.
Yeah.
They won't wear
Well,
shorts.
then-
Them legs will be
well,
cut
they
to
wanna win,
pieces.
right?
When college football
And they'll
first
be glad they
enacted
had
that
their
rule,
pants
they were
Correct.
calling delayed game penalties if your pants were above the knee. They don't even bother. Now they come out, they look like they don't shorts.
Shorts. Yeah, especially.
Ain't no way
your
I'd play football with shorts.
That's right.
No, some of them big
I
boys.
still think Dublin was a demolition track for cars. All that mess in them fields sliding, we have to take girls to get stitched up before the first inning's over. Bad.
That's bad there.
Yeah. So y'all gonna figure that out somehow.
Yeah, Joey, you gonna figure that out?
Prices and stuff and rules, I'm gonna leave up to y'all, the rec board.
Well, I mean, I'm just, making sure you got your shirts matching.
Specify the colors.
Right. And your color in your shorts now,
Mhm.
or pants as y'all. That's what we've having issues with pants, because a lot of people did not like those baseball pants that we chose. We was going to just try to do that, but.
So you definitely have to specify the color.
Yep.
When
When I was growing up, we had the same shoes. Now, when you go to a gym now, you just got all color shoes.
Pink, purple, the
Yeah.
other polka dotted.
So,
Works.
which we've kind of talked some about this here. Let's see, asked the advisory board to help in determine what the cost per athlete is for each sport, and that's kind of what we're doing now. Whether we're saying we're gonna buy shirts and not shorts, but the shorts has gotta, be up to this standard as far as sliding pants or baseball pants and things like that.
And now with baseball and softball and all being $22 for the top and $10 for the pants, we spent a little over $13,000.
Yeah, just cutting out the pants was saving a ton of money, and especially when you had people that didn't like it.
How many kids roughly was that, Joey?
This says $399.
399?
Yep. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what it says.
And the last but not least, H, is the advisory board aware of any other areas that recreation department should be considering providing programs, activity, and facilities? And I'll just jump out here with this, okay? It's costing us money every month for about 4 months to house our wrestling. Just because we don't have, just because we don't have the space. So we have Jay in Hoboken, we use him in his business. Volleyball, like you said, that would be another great start, and I don't know how it's all gonna work out for us, the way the track, I mean, that might be something that we could, and I know Joey has talked about this, the counties, they're kind of getting, in the rec department, and it may just be what, hurdle or 100-yard dash or cross country, we are using cross country out here. For a school, they come out here and join them and cut a track, and they'll run their track out here. They've done that several times last year, so might be something else we can consider.
You saw where the Dollar General stores were selling.
My check, I think, was $700,000.
So is the rec department able to do like just any single activities to help raise funds? And why I ask is because a lot of places, like, we do the Heron Hustle, but there's a lot of schools that periodically do, 5Ks for different events. Is there something that you can't set up here, since we are running cross country now, to bring in some money, but it's not, wouldn't be like a set thing all the time, I guess is what I'm saying? Like, like twice a year, y'all able to do 5Ks to open to the public and to kids and things like that to help bring in money?
From my understanding now, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong here, anything we bring in goes straight to the county's general funds.
And why is that? If it's for the rec department, why
Well,
is it going into the general fund?
it's still,
So we get a budget.
yeah, it's the rec department budget, but it goes into county funds, like having 2 or 3 different checking accounts. at a
Helps to
certain
cover
budget.
our budget.
Okay, all right, let me ask you this. If it goes into the general fund, then do you have a line item that says, $4,000 was made on the 5K, $3,000 was made on the
That
concession?
would be a question for Kendall.
Okay.
But on the same issue here, which what she's talking about, we've been meeting we're back since in November with the regional commission, updating our 5-year strategic plan. And which is, the strategic plan is goals that you set for the next 5 years for the county. And this thing's gonna go on till sometime in, I think, next June before we actually finalize it. But there's a recommendation in it, which came out today in the meeting, about the recreation department considering the development of a citizen-appointed group to work to help develop cultural events and sites and stuff like that for the rec department. And which would fall right into what you're saying. They could be the fundraiser for the rec department.
But if
They would, in other words, if it was a group, they would get the money coming in as a fundraiser. They would turn around and donate it back to the rec department. It's just basically like a booster club is what it would basically like. So that is in the upcoming 5-year comprehensive plan.
Well, my
It's kind of like
understanding
the
is,
exchange club, really.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why she just,
That's it.
Yeah.
Is that us?
Yeah.
yeah, something basically like that, but it'd just be a separate group, it would be the, whatever your Brantley County Recreation Boosters or something like that, and,
well, my understanding was that donations aren't allowed anymore.
oh no, to a group like that, it would be, because they're not affiliated with you, they're just a booster club.
But when they donate it back to us,
And then they're just like a regular club, like the Exchange
So-
Club donates
So
to.
that might be.
so could we, the Exchange Club, host a 5K here,
Yep,
and then whatever funds we raise, we could use that to then do the water bottles or the medals or help with different things?
Yep.
definitely.
and same
Aren't you
thing,
glad I'm
same
on the
thing
same
with an
team?
advisory committee or advisory group, that whatever you would want to call them, like say, call them the boosters, they would get their own 501 designation and that kind of stuff. And then, the money could be donated to them, then they would just turn right around and help you with the jerseys or the pants or stuff like that. It might be something really to look into.
That's just like when, you have the, haunted,
Hayride.
hayride. I was trying to say haunted house, and that wasn't right. Hayride. people have asked to donate, but
Yep.
then they don't wanna donate because it goes in.
And
Department's not gonna
donate
get
to
it
the
back.
rec department, because the rec department is not a 501. So that's, forming, getting the citizens group form, which would be separate from the exchange club or Kiwanis or anything else, Lions Club, whatever, it'd be a booster club of their own. I don't know, but that is in the 5-year comprehensive plan that we're putting in.
And we
Put
do,
together today.
we do have a line item that has for events like haunted,
Yeah.
hayride, we do have a line item.
Yeah, there were several things in the comprehensive plan about recreation.
It's on this one.
It's on the fourth from the bottom.
Okay.
And that's just like us hosting the seniors day.
Mhm.
So if we host it, then I've got a line item that I can actually draw from to host that. But it's got to be, I'm hosting it, you know what I'm saying? It's not like where the parents and say, we're gonna get together and we're gonna do this here. I'm saying, we'll host it, y'all get together and whether y'all wanna play games or cook hamburgers, hot dogs, whatever, but we'll host it. That means I can use some of my event line item money for stuff like that.
So like when, you host the, when you do the, bingo,
Mhm.
is that the line item you're drawing that from, if you furnish the?
No,
booth?
most of the time, hospice takes care of that. She has.
Yeah, I know that one day I had told them that I would prepare the meal,
Right.
and so
Right.
they forgot to tell them.
Right.
And she brought some sandwiches, but it all worked out because they just took, some of them I went ahead and ate the food I prepared, but a lot of them fixed to go boxes. They didn't have to worry about supper and probably dinner
Right.
the next day.
Right.
Because, I mean, I had a lot of food,
Oh, yeah, had plenty,
so,
had plenty.
and when things calm down at my level again, then I'm gonna get back involved. More so.
Yeah. In the last, Melissa, she come on board, her and Mr. Michael come on board. They was talking about sponsorships, and this may go back to some of the same stuff because, she had printed out a piece of paper and it's on the back of our package. I'm not sure if y'all got it or not. Yes. And this is just something to kick off. And I know Joey and them used to do this, several years ago for whatever reason, it kind of got away from and that. And I'm just guessing this is something that, Statesboro has, something like Bullitt County. So she just kind of outline something that we can look at, discuss, beat up, chew, discuss it amongst ourselves, see what we want to do, if this is something that we want to do. And it's just got, different amounts for different seasons or different sports. I know, Joey and them, they had signs up here on the fence, so much for a fence space, a certain size. So it's just, something we can look at, we can beat up, talk about, see what we can come up with. These numbers here don't really mean anything. She just threw out some numbers to get us started on.
She works at the Bullitt County. Does she live in Bullitt County?
They got land in Hortense. They got a house in Hortense.
I was gonna say,
Her
she drive
husband-
back and do Statesboro every day.
Her husband is a program coordinator, I think, some kind of coordinator.
Okay.
And this is kind of way when I came up through Rec Ball over in Bacon County. I mean, this is where you had different,
Mhm.
things like, I was always on the American Legion team.
Mhm.
The American Legion sponsored the team, and VFW sponsored one, and I think you had one of the churches, Baptist Church, I think, sponsored the team.
This is the way it used to be done.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like.
And this could fall back towards the citizens group.
And then they went to the,
Well, look
raising
for
the fee to pay for the uniform.
Mhm.
If you're gonna do a sponsorship, then maybe the fees could come down and more kids could play.
Hey, on this
Said
budget
more
thing,
is.
is the 50,000 for the concession, is that what we made or is that what we spent? On the
That's
concession?
how much
To give you two.
year was a little bit on.
I didn't know, that's why I heard you say something about it somewhat close, but what accurate, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, this is just a budget. This is the money they allotted for this upcoming year that we can spend.
About how much money does the concession stand pool?
That's my question.
It varies. I mean, it varies like on the Jitterbug, we made, I think, between $8,000 and $9,000 just between, the gate and the concessions. Now, most of the time on concession, it may go from $200 or $300 for a soccer to right on up to $1,000, $1,500 on any given sport. So it just varies so much.
A lot of it depends on who's playing. If the little kids are playing, grandma, grandpa, aunt, and uncle, everybody's coming, and they're gonna get the concession
That's right.
stand. That's your biggest money maker
Yeah.
right there.
Have you ever figured out how much, like the income on your concession stands compared to that 50,000 in the budget?
Well, I can tell you, we just about double
Mhm.
what I spend and what we make.
So
And that's kind of where we,
keep slinging them burgers.
and you know, the funny thing about that, and I know you've seen it, when we go to a tournament, the prices are actually jacked up, just say $1.50, whatever it is. On that and
Mhm.
and as long as you don't run out of French fries, you will be okay. They love them French fries. But it's just like I said, you know, on a soccer game,
Right.
minimum. On the football, like Miss Brenda said, when you get into your younger age group, off the charts. Off the charts.
Cause they gonna come watch them.
And they're gonna eat.
And I never knew so many people drunk blue Powerade until I started out here. We probably double blue Powerade versus red.
I know back when I was involved with the Saddle Club, we would have the concessions on the Saddle Clubs, and we just ration. We make them have thousands of dollars off the chicken and rice. Plain old chicken and rice.
I used to do coleslaw for the hot dogs, and, I still have people asking me, are you gonna make coleslaw for the concession?
Yeah.
And sweet tea, we sold more
And
sweet
sweet
tea
tea.
than I.
Mhm.
Yeah. I started that years ago,
Yes.
offering sweet tea. They gonna drink that sweet tea. And hot chocolate in the wintertime.
Yeah, we would run out of hot chocolate.
I got one more thing for y'all before y'all end it. I had a company come give us a price on phrase mowing that we met down at the convention. Some more stuff here. They came look and it's a lot cheaper than the one we done a couple years ago we checked on. They charge about $3,000 an acre to come and phrase mow, which will eliminate a lot of our little small divots and holes. He said they have a $4,000 per truck mobilization fee, which means hauling all their stuff here. But then once they're here, it's $3,000 an acre. It's never been done at this park, and you're supposed to renovate your fields every 5 years. Laser grading, we can possibly do without it. But the phrase mowing we definitely need. And if we set a plan with them early, he said he can work with us on, say, doing the football and soccer and practice field in the spring, and then come back in the later summer, once baseball's over, and hitting our baseball and softball fields. But in case anybody don't know what it is, what they do is they come in and cut off they cut the top inch or so of soil. Comes out of a little chute. We ride beside it with a buggy and a trailer, and it drops on the trailer. And they leave all the roots of the grass. So you water, fertilize, and in 3 weeks, they said it's back. You're playing on it with no holes.
What was the laser grading we brought up last year?
Laser grading is where they come
You know,
in.
How much was?
Oh, I don't remember how much that one was.
It was way up there. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Reason we never did.
This one actually is up 2,500 a field,
Mhm.
but
That was pretty much cheaper this year than
Mhm.
different companies.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I don't find the money.
So you'd have to supply your own clay and all that stuff too.
if we done the laser grading, yeah. But I'm more interested in this grading over here. What we'd have to do is rent some of the dump trailers from like CVR or somewhere, and we'll just pull them beside it, catch all the material they get rid of. We'll go haul it, dump it somewhere while the second one loading up, and just continuously, whole time they're cutting, we'll be doing that.
County couldn't use one of their trucks.
I was thinking the same thing.
Dump trucks,
At the time,
like what kind of truck?
their dump trucks, or that'd be too high.
So you can't drive them on the field,
Right.
make ruts.
You make ruts on them.
You mentioned the clay a while ago. Y'all getting the clay from the same place that the school gets theirs from?
We have. All right, anything else?
Oh, I was gonna ask about the 82 River Bridge project. I hadn't heard nothing about it. And I was just curious, what is it?
This kind of come about with the commissioners, with Mr. Joey and.
Yeah,
the
we
commissioners.
got a grant through NOAA, for that project. Right now, we are waiting on the money to come in. We own from the river where the boat ramp is, all the way back where the pond is, where the lake part is, all the way back to the next little road that goes down and around. That's all county property. They're gonna come in, do us a plan on what we could do with the area, as far as like picnic areas, maybe primitive camping, that kind of stuff in there. And so, yeah, right now, we're waiting on the money.
So if that part does come in, will that be put over to the rec
It
departments?
will be part of the recreation
Is that the Ava strip
Yeah.
on Lightsey?
department.
I think that consists of maybe widening out some road,
Yeah,
putting some
they-
pipes in to get better access.
To fix the
things like that
roads
down
and,
there.
like I
Right.
say, clear some areas out where it's not so, where it's hiding the homeless tents.
Only issue I see at the police floods.
That's what I was kind of thinking, like, what can you build without it?
Don't really know, and that's
Right, right.
one reason we hope the plan will.
Yeah,
give us a little
that's
bit
what they're
better
supposed to look
direction.
at, and they're gonna be aware that after this flood,
Right.
when they do the plans, and that's, so it's,
First time I heard about it, I was like, I remember when the river was all the way up to the bridge
yeah.
and everything
Not
looked
that
like
far
a
from
giant
it.
lake. I'm like,
Yeah, and that'll be factored into the plan. We're just looking for another place that people can go down and have a picnic with the kids or whatever, fish, do whatever, and still possibly have a little primitive camping area in there, and that kind of stuff. We just really don't know until the money gets here and they do the plan, then we'll know more about all this.
One thing that's so sad about that is you got big dumpsters down there and they'll still float. the trash.
And
I
we're,
don't know if the Times Rec Department has went down there and just cleaned it up and cleaned
Right.
it up and cleaned it up.
and we're
Same way with
constantly
the
battling the
thing.
homeless camps. Yeah,
The side of trying to cut everybody off as far as our code enforcer.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure that they're not, you know.
yeah, now they've learned they can go on the south side of the bridge and set the tents up in the trees, that's private property. But with that lady, I've talked with her, and she does not want them on her property, which gave us the permission to send the code enforcement down. 'Cause when they come down and set up their homeless camp, all that junk that they bring in, when the river floods,
Goes in the river.
goes right down the river into somebody's property. And I know they have one camp set up, and God knows where all that stuff went last. Yeah, no clue, but we now have the ordinance that they cannot keep.
One thing before we leave, we need to come up with a chairman, a vice chairman, and a secretary. So y'all be thinking about it. Basically, chairman will run the meetings, secretary log notes, and then if for some reason, chairperson is not here, the vice steps up. But I don't wanna do that one unless it's not here, because I'm not sure exactly where she would wanna stand with that. But anytime y'all got questions or whatever, call me, call Joey, call Mr. Howell. See if we can't get them answered. Everybody good? Meeting adjourned. I called him. Red Road, a town or two. On that